All right, so we would want to delve into this particular issue a while longer because it has become a major topic of discussion. Two key issues are standing out for Madam Otiko Djaba. One is that her comments about former President John Dramani Mahama were uncouth, and that the minority in Parliament and the minority on the Appointments Committee want her to apologize, retract and apologize, and accept that those comments were not in good faith. Secondly, she didn't do national service, and that is not in contention. But why should it be a major problem for the minority? And for that reason, they have not approved her. We've been joined in studio by Kwabena Minta Akando. He's Member of Parliament for the Dwaboso constituency and also a member of the National Democratic Congress, NDC. Good evening, my brother, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, my brother.
All right, to start with, the minority seem to be quite loud about why they have decided not to add their voice to the approval of Madam Otiko Djaba. Is it that your major concern is that you wanted to retract and apologize to the president? By virtue of that, you are not approving her, or your major concern is that of the national service she hasn't done?
Yeah, let me say good evening to your viewers. I think it has to do with the two. Let me start from the national service. These are very sensitive matters as far as the House is concerned. I think that we should never be divided on this issue. We are the lawmakers of this country. We make laws, and we expect the people of this country to respect the kinds of laws we make for the people of this country.
Right.
So we should be the first people to protect and preserve the laws we make. Even the court cannot condone and permit the breach of statutes. And we're talking about statutes. If you refer to Act 426, Section 7, it clearly stipulates that if you don't do national service, you cannot be employed by anybody. In fact, it goes further to say that you cannot even be self-employed. You can even not employ yourself. That is what is in the Act. Okay? And so,
but you know, this same Act is what allows one to be able to stand for Member of Parliament.
Yes.
Do we have it on authority that all 275 members of Parliament have done national service?
Well, as far as I am concerned, and because we've not, nobody has admitted under oath that he or she hasn't done his national service. It is presumed that everybody has done his or her national service.
So it is just a presumption?
Not until the person is found guilty as far as this a particular thing is concerned.
Okay.
You understand? So we're making our own laws and coming back to break or to breach those statutes very, 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 very. And you see, we are sending a very bad signal out there. The decision we take on Otiko Djaba, okay, will either set a bad precedent or a good one. Okay? It will either encourage people to take national service seriously in this country or otherwise.
What would the minority's position be if she says that, okay, because of the fact that I haven't done national service, I'd want to serve my first 7 months or 8 months, which is the statutory national service period, in office and not take salary, just the allowance? That will be her national service period. Is that feasible?
There are caveats, there are remedies available. One, they can write to the National Service Board, okay, to waive that particular national service. That is one. But mind you, we are well aware that as far as we are concerned, as we speak now, there's no National Service Board. So they can't come back on Tuesday and tell us that they've gotten a waiver from the National Service. It is not true. Secondly, if they do that, that's fine. Ghanaians are watching. Then the president will tell Ghanaians that, look, even if you don't do national service, it doesn't matter.
But that is not, no. You see, the point is that it is in the Constitution.
Yes,
or it is clearly stipulated that,
yes,
in the Act, that the National Service Board can waive for you to go on irrespective.
It is there.
So if that happens, then I do not think that it is a statement from the president or the NPP is putting up a posture of, oh, if you don't do national service, it's okay. Clearly, they are going by what the law says.
You must have a concrete reason. You must convince the board and Ghanaians, all of them, they are accountable to us. The reason that the nominee gave at the vetting committee was that she was not in the country. That is why she couldn't do her national. And let me give you this information. It doesn't matter where you attended school. Once you're a Ghanaian, you must come back and do your national service.
Once you're a Ghanaian, and you've gone through our educational system.
No, that is even not what the law says. Whether you sponsored yourself or you attended school in Ghana or not, once you're a Ghanaian, you must do a national service in this country. That is what the law says. That's the position of the law.
So far as you are a born Ghanaian.
Yes. You must do a national service. So the reason of not being in this country...
I'm sure we have a lot of people who will fall short of this expectation.
Yes, so the ignorance of the law is no excuse. The ignorance of the law is no excuse. So please, she should either go back and do her national... this party or the MPP government, they are 4 years. We voted for them for 4 years. So she can go and do the national service maximum 1 year. It's about 9 months. Go and do your national service, come back, and you go to the procedure.
What are the...
Or she will go to the National Service Board.
Which is not in place yet.
Which is not in place yet, for them to waive it, and then she will come back to us.
Okay.
Do you understand? So it's a very sensitive matter. Let us not take it lightly at all. We must protect our laws in this country.
And mind you, viewers, we have the Public Relations Officer of the National Service Secretariat. He is here with us and will be joining us in a jiffy to help us understand what really can be done for Madam Otiko Djaba. But what other remedies are there for, what other expectations do the minority have of Madam Otiko Djaba? She should just do national service and she will go through it. Is that it?
Yes, that is one. But you see, there are other things. Some of the utterances before the appointment committee, her countenance, her posture, her demeanor was quite unfortunate, to say the least.
How do you
understand? If you describe a whole president, somebody that has been elected by the whole country as wicked, as devilish-hearted person, and you think these are supposed to be opinions you have on the person, and when you were given the opportunity to retract and apologize, you still insisted. This is the person who is supposed to go and protect our children, the aged. You understand? This is the person.
These are pure issues regarding
you must have
morality.
A yes, and where she is going is very sensitive. You must be somebody who has compassion. You understand? You must be somebody who cares so much about people, about human beings.
Okay.
So you should not be that kind of arrogant person.
So on that score of quote-unquote arrogance and her posturing, her demeanor, her utterance, how do those attributes you've mentioned fit into the fact that she is running for, or she's being given a public position? I think that we are governed by laws, and in the law, does it state there that your moral lifestyle or things you say, if it is is there anything that she has done which is in contravention of the law?
Don't forget that Ghana, as a country, we have culture.
So she's going contrary to a cultural practice.
You understand? In this our modern, or even in our societies, you can't go back and look into the eyes of your mother or your grandmother and go and tell your grandmother she is stupid. You can't do that. You know? So the fact that you have not gone contrary to any statute or the constitution does not mean that whatever you do is right. You understand? And I have been able to identify where she has gone contrary to the laws of the land, that if she's able to, jump that hurdle, so be it. And this is very sensitive for Parliament. But this is a statute that was made by us. Even the law court, as I have already stated, will always preserve statute. They can't even permit the breach of it.
Well, we would see how this unfolds in the coming days. Certainly a lot of interest being shown from almost every Ghanaian on this topic. But I would say a big thank you to you, Kwabena Minta Akando, Member of Parliament for the Dwaboso constituency and a member of the NDC. Thank you for joining us. We'll see, probably in the coming days, we'll come back to you to help us see how the minority are taking this. This is still News at 10 on TV3.